The airplane hummed, bins slamming above, fluorescent lights flickering. Zara gripped her ticket, eyes calm but alert. Madeline's gaze swept the cabin, impatience in every twitch. A soft cough from a nearby passenger went unnoticed. Zara whispered under her breath, "Just my luck." Madeline muttered, "I hope no one notices." Passengers shifted silently. Tension hung heavier than the air conditioning. Zara's jaw tightened. Madeline adjusted her bag, smirking slightly, unaware the camera was recording. Something unspoken crackled between them. The cabin seemed to hold its breath, waiting. Madeline's fingers hovered over Zara's seat tag. "You really think that's yours?" Zara whispered, voice low. Madeline smirked, sliding it slightly. "Just feels better here," she muttered. Zara's eyes didn't leave hers, silent fire beneath calm. A pause hung heavy, louder than words, as the cabin seemed to wait. Zara's jaw tightened. Not again, she thought, remembering every slight ignored before. A passenger whispered, "Did you see that?" Madeline's smirk widened, unaware of the camera above. Zara's breath stayed steady, fire contained in silence. The hum of the engines and soft murmurs framed her restraint, each second heavier than any shout. Her eyes never left Madeline's. The camera's red light blinked softly. Zara's eyes never wavered. Madeline's hand trembled slightly over her bag. A passenger whispered, "Did you see that?" Zara's breath stayed steady, every exhale deliberate. "Some mistakes aren't invisible," the narrator murmured. Silence filled the cabin, heavier than any argument, as unspoken judgment rippled around them. Zara tightened her grip on the armrest. "They always look past me," she thought, remembering the flight attendant ignoring her request. A passenger muttered under his breath, "Probably shouldn't be here." Security lingered near her, eyes sharp, suspicious. Madeline shifted her, bag, smirking, oblivious. Zara whispered to herself, "Not again." The hum of the engines and quiet murmurs made her pulse heavier than words. Each microaggression flashed in her mind, a lifetime compressed into one tense moment. Privilege always thinks it's untouchable, she reflected silently, staring straight ahead. The flight attendant's eyes flicked to the camera above. "Did she switch?" she whispered under her breath. Zara's gaze stayed calm, steady, unflinching. Madeline shifted, smirk faltering slightly. A passenger muttered, "Something's off here." The attendant froze, torn. Zara's quiet composure made the cabin tension thick, heavier than words. The camera clicked again, unseen but recording everything. Every twitch, every falter, every silent assertion of power. Finally, Zara thought, someone sees. The hum of engines carried the unspoken truth, hinting at consequences beyond entitlement. Madeline's certainty began to crack, unnoticed by most. A passenger leaned forward, whispering, "I saw that." The flight attendant's gaze flicked to the cabin camera, hesitation in her eyes. Zara thought, "They've always looked past me, not this time." Madeline adjusted her posture, confidence faltering, smirk barely hiding unease. Rows of passengers shifted subtly, glances exchanged, awareness spreading without a sound. "Is something wrong?" Madeline muttered, voice tight. No one answered, yet tension thickened. Zara exhaled slowly, restraint radiating, quiet power settling in the space. Small actions, unnoticed by some, were tipping the balance. "Captain, there's been a seat switch," the attendant said quietly. He nodded, calm. "Handle it discreetly. She stays in her assigned seat." Madeline's lips pressed tight. "This isn't right." "Your seat has been reassigned," he replied evenly. Passengers shifted subtly, some exhaling without sound. Zara's fingers rested lightly on the armrest, calm and composed. Finally, she thought, someone noticed. Madeline's glare burned internally, unnoticed by most. her confidence fracturing in silence. The cabin hummed, tension thick but measured. Justice, small and quiet, had begun to tilt the balance. Madeline's lips parted, sharp and hesitant. This isn't fair. The captain's eyes remained steady. Your seat has been reassigned. Please comply. Passengers shifted, holding their breath. Zara's hands rested lightly on her lap, calm, contained. Finally, she thought, someone sees what I've carried all these years. Madeline's jaw tightened, her confidence fracturing silently. A faint click from the overhead camera punctuated the moment. No one spoke, but tension hummed through the cabin. The balance of power rested quietly in that stillness, fragile yet undeniable. Your seat remains assigned. Please follow instructions, the captain said, calm but firm. Madeline's lips trembled. This is ridiculous. Her shoulders slumped subtly, confidence cracking in silence. Passengers shifted, eyes flicking away, sensing privilege unraveling without a word. Zara's hands rested lightly on her lap. Some things finally make sense, she thought. Flight attendants exchanged quiet glances, acknowledging the shift. The cabin air felt heavier, yet steadier, charged with unspoken recognition. Arrogance faltered. Authority endured. Silent dignity weighed more than any raised voice, reshaping the balance in subtle but undeniable ways. Beads of sweat traced Madeline's temples. Her jaw tightened. This isn't how it's supposed to be, she muttered under her breath. Passengers shifted, eyes meeting briefly, whispers held back but loaded with recognition. Zara's hands stayed folded, calm, unyielding. Finally, she thought, they see it too. The captain's gaze never wavered. A soft click from the camera punctuated the tension, recording every twitch, every falter. No. Voices rose. No confrontation erupted. Madeline's arrogance quietly unraveled, her facade crumbling beneath the weight of authority, observation, and collective awareness. The camera clicked, its red light catching every detail. Madeline's fingers tapped nervously on the armrest. This isn't fair, she whispered, voice tight. Passengers avoided her gaze, a quiet acknowledgement passing between them. Zara's hands rested calmly in her lap. It's over, she thought, and they finally see it. The flight attendant's glance lingered briefly, approving but silent. No words of condemnation were needed. The footage spoke for itself. Madeline slumped, unseen cracks forming in her composure. In stillness, dignity prevailed, subtle but undeniable, leaving a mark that extended far beyond the cabin walls. Madeline scrolled her phone, fingers trembling slightly. Not a word, she muttered under her breath. Passengers glanced away, careful not to meet her eyes. Zara leaned, back, calm, watching the small shifts unfold. Finally, she thought, some things carry weight. The hum of the cabin underscored quiet accountability, subtle but unmistakable. Privilege had consequences, even when silent, and the balance had begun to tilt. The flight attendant leaned close, voice barely above a whisper. It's over now. Zara felt it settle inside her. Finally, someone sees it. Passengers shifted quietly, aware, but still silent. No applause, no argument, just a weight lifting. The cabin hummed softly, collective recognition threading through the stillness. Dignity had spoken. Zara pressed her forehead to the cold glass, clouds drifting past like silent witnesses. Her phone buzzed softly. The footage was online, rippling quietly. Madeline sat reassigned, face flushed, shrinking into her own embarrassment. No cheering, no fanfare, just truth settling in. The cabin exhaled collectively. Small victories, subtle yet undeniable, carved cracks in old systems. Zara sat, composed, eyes steady, letting nothing shake her calm. No speeches, no dramatics, just quiet resilience. Passengers shifted subtly, sensing the weight of her dignity. Flaws persisted, yet justice threaded through small, deliberate acts. Narration whispered the truth. Courage and restraint carry power, and even micro moments of accountability leave echoes that endure.